Welcome to On the Way to School, your 6-minute daily boost for educators and administrators. I'm Christopher S. Dennis, and today, let's elevate our journey together. Good morning, and welcome back to the ride, folks, on the way to school. I was away last week hanging out, actually not hanging out at all. I was chaperoning. I was one of our faculty chaperones for our 10th grade camping trip. So we spent 5 days at Montaña de Oro. So I slept in a tent at campsite 28, and we had some good students there. They did give me a run for my money one of those nights, 2 of those nights actually, but chaperone prevailed. But so I was gone last week, and it was a really cool opportunity just to get off campus and connect with colleagues, faculty, and students in the 10th grade class. Because as an administrator, we always don't have an organic way of connecting with students at a deeper level that really gets a chance to see them, be who they are. So I was really appreciative to be able to be a part of that. And but now we're back. So let's get it going again. Today, I wanted to talk to you about influence and authority. And I think from a staff member or teacher's perspective, you may see someone with authority and assume that they can move things along in a linear way to make lives easier. And sometimes that's the case. And because of that authority, they can create plans and systems to get things going. But in some cases, even with that authority, they don't have the influence to compel people to lean into their best efforts. So some of you who are actually not in a managerial or supervisory role may have a great deal of influence that you are not aware of, or a great deal of influence that you are not acknowledging. So I'll give you a couple definitions to get started. So first, influence is essentially the ability to shape or change somebody's opinions or behaviors through inspiration or some sort of appeal instead of a formal line of power or authority. Whereas authority would be someone who has the formal right to make a decision or enforce a rule. And this is kind of conveyed to them by the structure of that organization or that part of society. So a parent has the authority over a child based on that relational dynamic. Your manager has the authority over some things as it pertains to your work, but not necessarily all things. They can ask you, where were you yesterday? But they can't necessarily tell you that you can't go home today, right? So there's some limits to authority, but influence and authority are tied together in interesting ways. And it makes me think about when I was in Office of One, working as a diversity director, I would have to really find ways to appeal to my colleagues or appeal to the families in my school to want to participate in things, because I did not have the authority to make anything required or to take up a ton of space. And I thought for a long time that influence without authority was pretty lackluster. It was pretty problematic. And it wasn't long before I realized that once I had authority, that you really need both. You can't move a lot with authority alone. People will comply, people will participate, but there is no sustainability in just leaning on authority to get things done. And my leadership style is not authoritative in the first place. It's more partnership and collaborative. But when I need to step into the fact that the authority does rest in my hands, I do know how to do that. And I try not to be overbearing in that, because I understand how it can come across and how it can make people feel. But, being a practitioner with authority only means you probably don't have the relationships. You don't have the trust of the people to move through an initiative. So you definitely want to make sure you work on building those relationships, that trust, that credibility. What kind of communication and role modeling are you demonstrating for people to want to credit you with guiding or leading them or getting the trust or the benefit of the doubt in a situation. If all you are is relying on authority, it just rests with the title you have in the organizational structure. It's more of compliance. It's not built on any, relational aspects, and people just kind of move forward because they were told to do so. And that kind of gives you a stale experience in an organization. All right. So I think it's really helpful to think of ways to motivate people and get them to move through things. And you're going to have to spend more time getting connected, getting tapped into what's going on to understand it and demonstrate that understanding. So if you have significant authority, you want to make sure that you are also leveraging relationships and leveraging them with the best intentions of the mission, not leveraging them because you're an opportunist, but leveraging them because you want to see the greater good come together. So just a couple of thoughts on influence and authority this morning as we get back out of the tent. So hopefully you're all doing well and have a wonderful morning on the way to school. Thanks for joining me on the way to school. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep making a difference. I'm Christopher S. Dennis. See you tomorrow.